Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmades.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. For today's project, I am featuring the Time for Tea bundle, and I actually featured this bundle for the first feature of June Club Quita-Bug. I think it was the first feature. No, it was the second feature. So for the second feature of June Club Quita-Bug, I featured this bundle. I absolutely love it. Love it. Well, actually, I just love the whole suite of products that goes along with this bundle. It's just a lot of fun. And today's project is actually my June customer thank you cards and gifts. So as you know, if you have followed my channel for a while now, every month I send a handmade card and a little gift to all of my customers who shopped with me the month before. It's just a way that I can share my appreciation that you choose to shop with me as your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, because it does mean so much to me. So I hope that you guys appreciate these handmade cards and gifts. So for the month of June, everyone who shopped with me or purchased a paper pumpkin subscription during the month of June, this is what the card looks like. So this is what I'm going to share with you how to create today. Isn't it so pretty? I love this card, and this is my favorite pattern in the designer series paper featured in that Time for Tea suite. I just love it. It's so cute. Very clean and simple card, but very pretty. So those are the cards. So I've got them all made right here, ready to go. And then for the gift, I am giving some of the new glitter enamel dots. So if you you purchased a paper pumpkin kit or placed an order, you'll be receiving a little sample of those glitter enamel dots so that you can try those out. Oh, they're gorgeous. I love these. And if you placed an order of $75 or more and you made sure to use the host code for the month, you're getting a full package of those glitter enamel dots. All right, so I've got all of my pieces here for the card. So I actually want to start by just making sure, okay. I actually want to start by stamping on the Whisper White layer for the card. So this is Whisper White, and I've cut this at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, and I want to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. So I'm going to bring in my Calypso Coral ink, and we're going to stamp the "You Fill My Cup with Happiness." So I'm just going to ink that up. And you know what? I might bring in my piercing mat, because I did use this when I was stamping them all out. So when I create my customer thank you cards, or anytime that I'm making multiples, I've got quite a bit of cards to make, I do everything assembly style. So I first start by cutting up all of my pieces. So maybe one day I can do a video and kind of show you. So for this card, I started by cutting and scoring all of my card bases. I got those done. Then I cut all of these layers. Then I cut all of the designer paper strips. Then I die cut all of these. So I die cut the teacups first before I stamped them. So I die cut every single one of the teacups that I needed. I have 2 here because I've got one card missing a teacup, so I saved it for the video. Then I punched out all of the pretty label punches that I needed in Crushed Curry. Then I punched out all of the Starburst punches that I needed in Whisper White. And then, then I used my Stamparatus, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, and I started stamping my teacups. I stamped every single one of those. Then I stamped each one of these layers. Then once that was done, then I started assembling. So I started first by taking this layer and putting this piece on, gluing it down on every single one of the pieces of Whisper White. Then, as you can see, there was some overhang. So then I went through and cut this off. And this happened because I accidentally cut every single one of these the wrong length. So I had to go back and cut these off after I glued them on. Then from there, I glued these 2 pieces onto the front of my card. And then I layered on everything else in order after that. So I layered on all of the Whisper White Starburst punches, layered on all of the Pretty Label punches, then I put on all of the teacups, then I added the pearls to the center of every single teacup. So that's kind of the process that I follow. So hopefully one day I can do a video and kind of speed up the process, maybe fast forward or something, and show you guys how it works. All right, so what I want to do now is show you how I use my Stamparatus. So I really don't use my Stamparatus if I'm making single cards unless I'm using maybe a stamp that's kind of difficult to line up or something. Normally I don't use it for just single cards. I like to use it for making multiples because it just speeds up the process. So what I did for this card is and I've showed you this before, I took a piece of rich raspberry cardstock and I die cut the teacup, and I left a little room at the top so that I could put my magnet here. But I've got my Stamparatus, and then I've got the little foam mat. This is for if you're using photopolymer stamps. And then I'm just gonna put this here and then put my magnet. So then what you do once you've got this little die cut here, it makes it so easy for you to stamp all of your die cut teacups, because you can just pop this cup in, like fit it in just like a puzzle piece, and then you can just boom, stamp, and then go on to the next one. So that's what I did. I just popped these in, stamped it, went on to the next one, and I was able to stamp these in no time, and I didn't make any mistakes. I don't like to waste paper when I have a lot of cards to make, because usually I have exactly what I need as far as paper supplies. So making one mistake can really mess everything up. So I really like having the Stamparatus for that, because then I can guarantee that I'm not going to make a mistake and then not have enough paper for everything. Okay, so I'm gonna use rich raspberry to stamp the teacup. So I'm just going to get that cup out. So all you have to do is you want to lay the cup in your little die cut piece here. Make sure you've got it in there right. Then take your acrylic plate here and just pick that up. Okay, I'm gonna pop this teacup right inside. See, fits right in. Then I'm going to ink up my cup. Whoop. I'm gonna see if I can bring this in where you can see it. Ink up my cup. This is when you realize you need a bigger desk, having to kind of maneuver this for you to see. Okay, and then you just bring it over. Give it a press. There you go. That cup's finished. Bring in my next one. Okay, pop that in. Ink this up again. Flip this over. Stamp my second cup. So I did this over and over until all of my cups were stamped, and it's just so awesome because you've got perfect placement and you can get it done so quick and easy. 2 little teacups. And then the great thing is, just save this piece. Don't throw this away. Save this in case you're ever making multiples again and you want to use this technique. You don't have to always keep die cutting it. So I'm just going to save this right inside of my stamp case, and then in the future, if I need to use that technique again, I'm good to go. All right, so now we can start assembling the card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. Here's my snail. So we'll just put this just slightly above where the sentiment is. So right there looks good to me. Flip this over, and I'm going to just trim this off. Okay. All right, so then we can take our card base. So this is a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. This is cut at 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. I've scored it at 4.25 inches. And I forgot to tell you about that little strip of designer series paper. So this is cut at 1.5 inches by now 4 inches. Yes, 1.5 inches by 4 inches. So I'm just going to add some, whoopsies, snail adhesive to this, and we are going to lay this flat. You could pop this up if you wanted to, but I'm going to lay it flat. Alrighty, then I've got a piece of crushed curry cardstock. I'm going to bring in my pretty label punch and punch this out. Then I've got my starburst punch, and I am just going to punch this out of Whisper White. So I'm just going to add some snail onto the back of this piece, and I'm going to bring it in a little bit from the right, and then put some adhesive on this piece. Pop that in the center, right there, okay. And then on the back of these, one dimensional will do. Okay, so I'll go ahead and pop this in the center. Isn't this so cute? I love this card. Such a great card. And here's my other one that was missing a teacup. Pop that there. And then lastly, those pearls. So where are you, paper piercer? Okay, so we'll just grab one. Pop it in the center. All right, so there we go. Isn't it so cute? I just love this card. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this quick and easy tutorial and the tips that I shared with you about making multiples of a card. And thank you so much again to everyone who shopped with me during the month of June. I hope that you enjoy receiving this handmade card as well as the glitter enamel dots as just a little token of my appreciation. So you can find all of the products that I used for today's project just below the video in the description notes. There are clickable links, and you can also find them over on today's blog post as well as all of the measurements for today's project. Again, the blog post is also linked just below the video in the description notes. So thanks again for joining me today, you guys, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.